Okay, lay yourself down onto your blanket. Put a bolster underneath your knees. Put a blocks for underneath your feet, and a folded blanket for underneath your head. Just take your glasses off if you're wearing them. If you can cover your eyes so you can create a room of darkness, then do that. If you might need to cover yourself up for warmth, so get yourself covered if you need it. And then just allow yourself to gently just release into the floor. So just spend a moment just listening to the breath. Just allowing your body to just release into the ground. Just soften your jaw, soften your tongue. Allow your legs to just release into the bolster and onto the blocks. And just observe whether you are comfortable, whether the body feels evenly supported. Just to let go of the muscles of the arms and the legs. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs, and let the legs just completely release into the floor. Just observing how the body makes contact with the equipment and with the floor. Just draw your attention into the soles of the feet. Drawing your attention into the soles of the feet so that the skin of the feet, of the underside of the foot, tingles with consciousness. Draw your attention into the soles of the feet and then consciously relax the skin and the muscle and the bones of the soles of the feet. Draw your attention onto the tops of your feet. Draw your attention into the tops of the feet and then let the skin and the bones and the muscles of the top of the foot completely relax. Draw your attention into your shins. Draw your attention into the shins and allow the fronts of the shins to sink into the backs of the shins. Draw your attention into the thighs. And allow the fronts of the thighs to sink into the backs of the thighs, relaxing the muscles of the thighs. Just completely relax the thighs, letting the fronts of the thighs sink into the backs of the thighs, and let the legs become soft and relaxed. Draw your attention into the pelvis and consciously relax the pelvis. relax the pelvis and the abdomen. Let the abdomen become soft. Just acknowledge the rib cage. Just relax the abdomen and the upper chest, relaxing the intercostal muscles between the ribs. Soften the jaw and the tongue and the throat. Just relax the chest and the shoulders and allow that feeling of relaxation to reach into the upper arms and the forearms and your hands. Relax the upper arms and the forearms and let the hands relax into the floor. Just let the thumb gently touch the index finger. Relax your hands and your forearms and your shoulders. Relax your neck. Soften any tension around the neck. Soften the skin of the face. Imagining that you are smoothing clay across the temples. Soften the muscles of the face, soften the throat. Just enjoying this feeling of complete release. Just allowing your breath to be as free and as gentle as you can. Just bringing yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. When you're ready to disturb yourself, just wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers, and then bend your knees. Bring your feet onto the bolster, have the knees together and the feet apart, just resting into the floor for a moment. And then very gently roll onto your right side to stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, just come into cross legs. Come into cross legs for a moment, just observe your energy. So we're just going to come into a side lying stretch. So my back went again yesterday evening, so that was annoying. So this is a good way just to kind of stretch out and to relieve tension in your back. So if you've got an oblong bolster, it's good for this. So you come onto your side and then you lengthen your side out along the bolster. So it's just in the side abdominal region. And then you stretch yourself out. So initially you stretch out, just stretching the heels away, stretching the hands away, and then you're just going to let go. Just let gravity effectively drape you over the bolster. So just breathe into the pose, just listen to the breath. Just be in a good straight line, the hands in line with the shoulders, in line with the hips, in line with the legs. Just let the legs relax. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. So just letting the body release into the floor. Okay, roll, bend your knees and just roll onto your front. Push your elbows into the floor and then just sit back on your heels, just observing your energy. And then we'll just do the same pose just on the other side. So just sit down onto your hip and stretch out along the bolster. Stretch yourself out initially, so the nice old stretch. Have the bolster in the side abdominal region, and then just let the body relax. And then bend your knees, just roll onto your front. And then push yourself up into seated position, just sitting back on your heels, just again observing your energy, observing the energy that you've released through your practice, just letting your energy settle. Okay, so we're going to come into the supported fish pose. So you need 2 blocks, one laying down like that, one on its end, and then you create a little ramp with your bolster. So a little ramp for your bolster. Have a blanket nearby so you can put your head on it if you need to. Then you sit up against the bolster, and then you bring a bolster underneath your knees. If you haven't got another bolster, then just have that. Just put some cushions underneath your knees, and then cover yourself over if you need to, and then guide yourself down along the ramp of the bolster. Just open your chest. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. And again, just release into the floor. Just allow your ears to soften, releasing the inner ear, softening your jaw and your tongue and your throat. Allowing your brain cells to descend from the front of the brain down towards the base of the skull. The more you can allow the body to relax, the more you release tension in the back. to disturb yourself, just push your hands into the floor, just bring yourself up into seated position, just sit yourself and cross legs for a moment, just observing your energy. And then to move the bolster out of the way behind you, just have a bolster for underneath your knees, and then have a blanket for your head, and then just come down back into your basic relaxation pose again, this time without blocks under your feet. You can just let the feet rest on the floor, let your head rest into the blanket, and then allow yourself to release into the floor. Just allow the body to release into the floor. Feel the lightness of your energy radiating from the bones and into the muscles and into your organs. and into the flesh and the skin. Just radiating energy from the bones and into the muscles and the organs and the flesh and the skin. Very gently wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, just allow yourself to bring yourself back into this pose of Shavasana. Bend your knees, bring your feet onto the bolster, and the knees apart, and then the feet apart and the knees together. Feet apart, knees together, just resting your back into the floor. And then roll over onto your right side, just stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come back up into a seated position, just final cross legs with your hands in the masti, just a final spinal lift. Drawing your breath in through your nose, down into the abdomen. Be conscious of the energy that you have released through your practice. That good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to meet your chest. Spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you've created inside. And then send some of that positive energy out into the world. And then just gently release the backs of your hands down towards your knees, palms facing upwards, connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom and peacefulness that you can carry into your evening. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've lifted your energy and you've given yourself some good positive energy to put into your evening. Thank you very much for joining me.